There are so many things that you want to do in your life, but you don't actually do because you're worried that you're going to be rejected. So you go through life trying to avoid being rejected. What that leads to is an unfulfilled life. There are so many things that you are avoiding, including living. So what is rejection? Essentially, it's a feeling of being excluded. It's like losing something and having to grieve that loss. Hi, I'm Anthea, founder of Amarkai Group. We help entrepreneurs and small business owners to skyrocket their success so that they can create more impact in the world. Keep watching to find out how you can avoid rejection. It's like saying when your family don't like what you're doing, you don't want to keep doing it because you're fearing being rejected. You're fearing being excluded from the family. When your friends are doing something completely different to what you are doing in your life, you try to dull your shine. You try to hold back because you don't want to be rejected. You don't want to be excluded by these friends. You only apply for certain types of jobs because you don't think you're going to get them. You don't want to risk being rejected. And so what happens is we end up living our life avoiding doing the very things that we want to do, actually showing up as who we really are, because we are worried that we are going to be excluded from the circles that we're trying to put ourselves in. So I'm trying to get that job. Well, I got excluded from that company because when I went for that interview, it seems like it went well, but then in the end they said no. Rejection. I've told my family that I want to move to another country and settle down there. They don't like the idea because obviously they're going to miss me and I'll be gone, and there's so many things that I should be worried about, etc., etc. So maybe I should just stay. So at least I'll be around my family because I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be excluded. I don't want to feel like I am losing something because then I have to go through the grief of losing the relationship, the job, the business, the finances, the friends. Whatever it is, it's that feeling of loss, of being excluded from somewhere that you think that you belong. So we go through life and we're constantly just thinking about ways to belong to something, to be included in something, so that we don't have to face rejection. And as I said, the problem with this is that we don't end up living. We're constantly trying to fit in to places that really we don't actually belong. Because who can really reject you? Now, I want to say rejection is only something that you allow. So why don't you reject rejection? Why not say nobody can reject me? Because all you're doing is getting confirmation that something is for you or it's not. If I've gone for the job, I had the interview and they said no, they didn't reject me. I just didn't align to the vision that they had for the person that they wanted in that job. It's got nothing to do with me as an individual, so I don't need to be rejected. I just need to understand that we don't align. And what that does is it frees me up to now go on and find something else that does align. So I don't need to settle so that I can be included. And I don't need to feel rejection because I've rejected rejection. This is just about differences in who we are. The same goes for family. You're going to grow up and you're going to make decisions as an adult that your family might not agree with. Are they going to reject you? Are they going to exclude you? Well, it depends. Are you going to reject that rejection? Are you going to say that I need to go and live my life the way I want to? Because when I take control and I am the one who responds or makes the decisions, I am the one who's accountable for the consequences. So if I stay doing whatever it is that my family want me to, then do I then blame them when life doesn't turn out the way I want it to? No, you can't, because you still made the decision. And if your family has conditions on who you need to be and what you need to do in order for them to love you, then it's not love. So again, are you really aligned to those people? You're now finding out that there is a misalignment, and therefore you can now be free to find something that's more aligned to you. When you're one of those people who are trying to develop yourself, you're trying to fulfill your dreams, and you're moving forward and you're doing all of the development work and listening to the audios and the podcasts and watching the videos, and you're trying to progress in your life, and you turn around and no one wants to progress with you, do you stay on that course? Because if you do, the people who don't understand are going to reject you. So will you settle, or will you reject the rejection? They can't reject me. They can't reject me. We are just no longer aligned. So it frees you up to now go and move forward to find a group of people who will encourage you and challenge you and help you to elevate and reach the level of success that you want in your life. So how you perceive rejection is what it means to you. And that's all it is. And the same goes for people who have been, abandoned by their parents. I grew up in a single parent home. And for years, I felt like I was abandoned. I was rejected. But really, my father leaving was not anything to do with me. It was about him and his decisions and his choices in life. So if I reject rejection, I say you can't reject me because I didn't ask to be brought into the world, and we no longer align. Because if you don't want to look after me, I don't want to be looked after by you. So therefore it frees me to then move forward and find people who are going to align to who I am, what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, what I think, what I believe, and encourage me to do all of those things. So sometimes we actually receive blessings in what we classify as rejections, the job that we didn't get, because it then allows us to start the business that we really wanted to. The relationship we didn't get into, that person didn't like me, and I'm not quite sure why, but actually giving that a moment to realize that we did not align means that now my attention is drawn to someone who is more aligned to who I am and the kind of relationship that I want. So it's so important that we stop trying to avoid rejection, because we're only avoiding what we think is rejection. Other people may actually come across and not intend to reject us, but it's based on how we've received it. So remember that your world is based on the experiences that you have, which is based on the perception of the world. So if you want to change your life, change your world, you change your perception of the experiences that you have. If you know that nobody can reject you, then you show up differently. You know that anything that you do, anyone that you have in your circle cannot reject you. And therefore you show up confidently. You strive for the things that you want. You're more likely to take action to fulfill your dreams, because rejection doesn't really exist. It's only if you choose to let it exist. And so if nobody can reject me, then it means I can do what I want to do. I can be who I am and know that anybody who no longer aligns to who I am, my friend, there is the door. It's completely up to you. It's so important with who you surround yourself with. Don't think that you have to settle because you feel that somebody is trying to exclude you from something. Sometimes that exclusion is a blessing. It's the thing that's going to help you realize that that place is no longer for you. And in order for you to get to that next level and live your life and be happy and do all of the wonderful things that you want to do, maybe it's time to exclude yourself from a few places. Any place that doesn't accept you for who you really are. So don't fear rejection. Don't avoid rejection. Face it. Reject rejection and do you. Show up as you and live your life unapologetically. And whoever is for you will align to you and be drawn to you. And whoever is not will make space for those who are. So I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and let us know how you found it.